Hello and welcome to Meowtropolis. I am Kat, and today I'm going to be leading you through a short little introductory Pilates mat workout that is going to be focused on your abdominals and your glutes. One quick little thing before we get started, please remember that pain is your body sending you a message, so please listen to it, modify when necessary, and always consult with a doctor before starting a new exercise practice. All right, let's get started on our backs today. You're gonna lay right down, have your feet flat on the ground with you, and then just close your eyes while we take a little body scan here. Send a big inhale up into the top of your head, and then on your exhale, relax any tension you find in your forehead, in your jaw. Allow your chin to drop back just a little bit towards your throat to kind of lengthen out the back of the neck. And then we're going to take a few breaths here into the ribs. I want you to take them in your own timing, however you're comfortable. But if you want to bring your hands onto the fronts of your ribs, I want you to try to feel that pull down and back as you exhale. That just naturally happens on your exhale. Try that a few times, and then after you've done a few, try to keep the ribs plugged in just slightly, somewhere along that pull down journey. And then send your breath more into the back of the ribs, more and more as you keep breathing. Think of breathing into the back, but without restricting your breathing. Allow yourself to breathe into the back. And then continue your scan through your low back, which actually arches the same way as your spine and your neck, your cervical spine. And then all the way down to your tailbone, just like we traced out to the top of the head. We'll trace out to the bottom of the spine, the tailbone. Big inhale and exhale there to release any tension you find in your low back and in the fronts of your hips. And then the last bit of this body scan, I want you to sense all 10 toes, the balls of the feet and the heels kind of melting into the floor. And then we're going to start by finding an imprint, which yes is a Pilates word, so don't worry, I'll tell you what it means. I'm going to bring my arm out to the side so you can see a little bit better. The way we're going to find our imprint today is by pressing our feet into the mat. So I want you to just push your feet into the mat. Let that kind of rock yourself back. Let that pull back just naturally happen in your low back. And then relax that pull back, relax the push of the feet. Try that a few more times. Push the feet to let the low back rock back, and then relax the feet to let the low back return. Keep trying that a few more times, and then while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you what an imprint is. So an imprint is that pull back of the low back, as if the vertebrae in the low back are making an impression, making an imprint into the mat. So on your next one, you're going to take that press of the feet, that pull back of the low back. And then I want you to fire up the connection between your ribs and your hips, so fire up your abdominals to hold your low back there. You're going to keep the low back in this imprinted position. And then one leg at a time, we're going to bring our legs up to a tabletop position. So that is knees over hips, shins parallel to the sky. Already you should be feeling those abdominals working just to hold your legs here, just to hold your low back in imprint. Then you're going to bring your right hand on top of your right thigh, your left hand on top of your left thigh, and then I want you to exhale. Push your hands into your thighs, pull your thighs into your hands. So you're really pushing and pulling against yourself here, as if you're trying to push your legs away from you, but you're pulling your legs so much up into your hands that they actually aren't moving. We're going to take 2 more breaths like that. Inhale. Exhale, try to push a little bit harder, hands to thighs, thighs to hands, and one more time, inhale. Exhale, push a little harder. Now, we're going to hold this push on the left side, so keep the left side pushing and pulling. Then we're going to reach the right side long. Inhale. Exhale to pull back, little press. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. And again, to reach and pull. Last 2. Exhale. Last 1. and pull. Then we're just going to take the other side. So push on that right side and the left side reaches. Inhale. Now as you're taking this, pay attention to that low back. We're further working the abdominals by maintaining that imprint. Exhale, pull. You have 2 more, then we'll get a little rest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Last one. And pull. One more time, just push and pull both sides. And then carefully let it relax. Set both feet down. All right, open your arms out to a T. We're going to just drop the knees over to one side. Big inhale for the twist here. Breathe into your belly. Exhale to pull through center to the other side. Inhale, twist. Exhale, pull to center. We have one more each way, and then we're going to make this a little bit more difficult. So this is called layering. We're going to layer a little bit more difficulty on top of this exercise. Then we're going to do a second layer as well. So feel free to stick with whatever layer you're comfortable with today. So that knee drop was the first layer. For layer 2, you're going to find that imprint again. Tuck the tail, pull the low back back. Then the legs are going to go to tabletop. You're going to squeeze your legs together in tabletop. And I want you to feel your shoulders, your ribs heavy into the mat, into the floor here. Then you're going to twist your legs, both of them, as one piece over to one side. Inhale while you're there. Exhale to pull slowly back to center and then other side. Inhale for the twist. Exhale to pull. Again, one more time each side. And then we have that last layer. Inhale, twist. Exhale, pull. Inhale, twist. And exhale to pull to center. Okay, our last layer. Go ahead and follow along. We're going to inhale to twist. We're going to hold here. Exhale, stretch the legs. Inhale, keep holding that twist. Bend your legs back to tabletop. And then return to center, other side. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Inhale, bend. Exhale, center. One more time each side. Twist. To reach. To bend. To center. Keep breathing. Twist. And reach. And bend. And center. All right, set those feet down again. Bring your arms down by your sides. Okay, for this next section, you can let go of that imprint. We're going to take a little chest lift here. So remember when I said try to feel the ribs slide down on that exhale? We're going to bring it back for a cue later. Here it is. This is that time. So we're going to take a chest lift. You're going to float your arms about 1 inch away from the mat, down by your hips. Chin to chest here, that same pull down and back to lengthen the neck into the mat that again we found in our body scan. And then we'll start with an inhale. Exhale, the ribs slide down. That pulls your head, neck, and shoulders up into that chest lift. And then inhale, think lengthen the spine back down. 3 more times. Exhale, ribs slide down. Inhale, lengthen back down. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Exhale, ribs slide down. Inhale, lay it down, and then bring your knees into your chest. All right, here we go. Next exercise, we're going to take double leg stretch. So you have 2 options for this. You can leave your head, neck, and shoulders down if it's bothering your neck, your throat, your shoulders to take that chest lift. And then if you're doing that, you're just going to focus on maintaining the imprint and then follow along with the arms and the legs. However, the other option is to come up for that chest lift, hold that chest lift for the whole series, following along with the arms and the legs. All right, we are going to do 6 of these. We're going to start with that optional chest lift. So inhale, ribs slide down. Your hands are either on the fronts of your shins or the backs of your thighs. Totally up to you. Shoulders plugged in and down. And on that exhale, ribs slide down to curl your head, neck, and shoulders up into that chest lift. Now, keep this chest lift. Don't let your head drop back. If you are in it, you're going to inhale, reach your arms by your ears, reach your legs away from you, and then exhale, circle the arms back to that small ball position. Again, let's go. Inhale to reach. Exhale, circle. Inhale, reach. Exhale, circle. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale to the small ball again. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Last one to inhale, reach. Exhale, small ball. Lay the head, neck, and shoulders down if they're up, and you can take a little rock side to side for the head here if you want to. All right, one last exercise here on our backs before we move on. I want you to find here what I call the rainbow of support. So your hand, up your arm, across your shoulder blades, down your other arm to your other hand. That's what makes the rainbow. So feel those shoulder blades especially pressing into the mat. Those arms are supporting you. You also still have all 10 toes, the balls, the feet, and the heels connected to the mat and supporting you. Long neutral spine, so we're not in that imprint. You're going to press down with your feet, press up with your glutes to a Pilates bridge, and then just inhale, fold at your hips, right back down. We're going to do that 5 more times. We'll go exhale, up, inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Inhale, fold. This is 3. Inhale, and 2. All right, on our last one, we're going to hold up. So right here, exhale, press, lift, and hold. Now you're welcome to just hold, or take one of your feet, lift the heel, and lower that heel. Other leg, lift the heel, and down. Keep switching, lift, and down. Lift and down. Last one, each foot. Last one, both heels down. Inhale, hold. Exhale to fold. We're going to take that last one more time. If you remember which heel lifted up first, take the other one. And then we're holding those hips up the whole time. I kind of didn't mention that, but we're holding the bridge and trying to keep it stable while we take that heel lift. All right, let's go back into it. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to press, and here we go. Other heel first. We lift, heel down, and heel up, heel down, 4, 4, and reach that heel, 3, and down, last 2, and last one here. Reach that heel down, hips are still up, inhale. On this one, I want you to exhale, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, like you're laying down a string of pearls, rounding through that low back. And then tailbone is the last thing to return to neutral. All right. Remember that rainbow of support. We're actually going to use it in our next exercise, but we're going to flip all the way over. So you are going to be laying down on your stomach, legs long, as narrow as you can get them, which for me is about the width of the mat. Arms are going to be down by your sides, palms up, mimicking that rainbow of support, right? So imagine you are laying on your back still. Your focus will be down on the floor. If you're not comfortable with that, you can go cheek to the floor. If you do that, please switch sides every time. Head, neck, and shoulders down. Tuck your tail. Try to find that same imprint feeling for the low back to support it. Palms are up. And here we go. Inhale. Reach the arms. Press that rainbow of support up to extend through the spine. And then exhale to lay back down. 3 more. Inhale. Extend. Exhale. Lower. And 2. Last one like this before we add on. All right, what we're going to add on is little pulses of the arms up. We're going to do 8, and like I said, we're going to do the whole thing twice. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach, extend, pulse those arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay down. Exhale, here we go. Last one. Inhale, reach, extend, and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring your arms by your shoulders to press up and actually make your way to seated. Okay, last little bit here. Last little bit, we're gonna take a tiny little sort of reminiscent of planking series. So you're gonna meet me on your elbow and your hip with your legs bent. And then we're gonna do what I like to call finding the wrong place to find the right place. So you are gonna actually sink down into your shoulder, sink down in your ribs, and really just fall down. Then press down with that shoulder and elbow, lift up through those ribs. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Be gentle as you drop down. It's the wrong position for a reason. And then press with the shoulder, lift with the ribs. 1 more time, drop down and press and lift. This time we're gonna hold it. So hold that press down with that elbow. And that hand is also, by the way, on a slight angle out here, if that's comfortable to you. Let's bring the other hand onto your hip. Knees are bent with your heels in line with your spine. So similar to how we were laying on our backs, now we're just on our sides. Then 4 times, we're just gonna take a simple clam. So you're just gonna press your top knee open, keeping your heels together, and close. 3 more times, press and close. 2, inhale, last 1. All right, now the knees are gonna stay together. We're gonna lift the hips now. 4 times, little lift, and down, and lift, and down. Last 2, and last one here. All right, last thing before we finish out on the other side, we're gonna lift up to that same plank. We're gonna add a little rainbow side bend for the body. So arching through the spine to the side, opening up the top side of the ribs, and then we'll return to that side plank. Take that 3 times. Now, if that side plank is not a good idea for you today, feels way too much on your shoulder, then you can absolutely just take that version I just demonstrated. Keep your hips down and just take the side bend. All right, otherwise, press up to that side plank and then little lift away, back to the plank. 3 more, away, and plank, and 2, and plank. Last one, side bend through the plank to set the hips down and take a little seated position, maybe rolling out your wrists, wiggling out your arms a little bit, taking a big deep breath so we can take that other side. All right, so laying on the other hip, other elbow supporting. We're gonna start once again with that find the wrong place to find the right place, right? So again, gently dropping into the shoulder, sinking the ribs down, and then pressing the shoulder and lifting the ribs. 2 more times. Drop to sink, press to lift. Last one, drop to sink and press to lift. Okay, now this time we hold. Make sure that elbow feels like it's in a good spot, which sometimes takes some readjusting. And then again, the heels are right under the hips. The knees are a little bit in front of you. Top hand will go on your hip, and here we go. We press open for a clam for 4, and close. 3, inhale, last 2, and last 1. Okay, knees together. We take our hip lift 4 times, a little lift, and down, lift, and down. 2 more, lift. Last one, lift and down. We add that side bend 4 times, and again, feel free to leave the hips down for the side bend, and otherwise lift up to that little side plank. Here we go. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, back to the plank. 3 more, side bend to the plank, and 2, and plank. Last one, side bend to the plank. Set the hips down, and this time let's come to a seated position here. Let's actually go crisscross. If you want to go soles of the feet together or find just a more comfortable seated position for yourself, go ahead and do that. We're just going to take a big, big open through the chest. Reach to the fingertips behind you. Big inhale, and then exhale. I want you to give yourself a big hug here. Reach your elbows forward. Maybe drop your head between them if you can. Take a moment first to be proud of yourself, and second, to remember which arm is on top, because we're going to stack back up and start over. Take a big inhale, And exhale, if you remember, other arm on top for that same hug and maybe elbow, or maybe head drop between the elbows, And again, take another moment to be proud of yourself for following along with this video, for taking this moment for yourself. Stack up through the spine. Open up our fingertips, reach them down to the mat on either side of you. Take a big, big inhale, fill those lungs in all directions, and as you do, take a moment to think of one thing you love about yourself because you are a superstar. Exhale to remember you're a superstar and for those shoulders to drop down away from your ears. And one more time, take a moment to be proud of yourself. I know I am proud of you. And thank you so much for being here. Hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.